I remember back when we were against the Vietnam War, and our music was a big part of that revolution. It wasn't a good war. We were in there for profit, not for social benefit. And today, I think the environment is a much bigger war, and we're losing badly. We're not only not stopping ourselves or transitioning ourselves, we're a model for so much of the free world that models themselves after our gluttony for petroleum. It's going to run out. We should be well into the transition now, and our children will look at us with disdain if we don't start making some major changes, because we don't have a planet B. There is no plan at B. If we fuck this one up, we don't have a world to live in. And we're on the verge. We're on the verge of, at least right now, morphing to deal with the actions, the reactions to our inaction. We should be transitioning now to a hydrogen-based economy. After all, when we burn gasoline, it's just a hydrocarbon chain. The carbon isn't what's combustible, the hydrogen is. And the carbon is just the shit that gets in our atmosphere as a result of the shortcut we're taking to hydrogen. The ocean is H2O. The ocean is filled with hydrogen. And when we use solar energy to turn that seawater through photoelectrolysis, electricity from the sun, like we do with solar roofs, we're gathering photons of sunlight and turning them into electrons of electricity. Well, there may be a shorter cut. And several countries that are really committed to hydrogen are making some major breakthroughs. In Japan and Australia, they know what's coming. They actually listen to their scientists, not to their politicians. Everything's fine. We can keep burning oil. Why? We could stockpile that oil and use it to make plastic for computers and pipelines and other building materials that we can recycle. We can create structural integrity in plastics now that we never could before. And that's oil. We don't want to burn it anymore. Anyway, my interest in solar energy started back when Jimmy Carter was president. I worked in the field for a few months, helped them to make some, at the time, everything was solar hot water with the Carter administration, because if you were using electricity to produce your hot water, you were just burning an irrational amount of fuel. At very high rates. And we could produce solar hot water just by putting arrays of copper pipe on your roof painted black. They would, in a glass case, so they would get super hot and the water would pass through it and be hot. And it would we have a little circulation pump that would collect that hot water. In any event, I learned to do some isolation assemblies that made the business a lot more efficient. And then I got a job teaching solar energy. But my job was cool. I was the futurist, because most of our students were coming from the armed forces, and they were looking for jobs where they could use their skills. And solar basically back then was plumbing. So we would teach them how to be a plumber. We would teach them why solar hot water works and how to avoid mistakes by practicing, and we would teach them. But my job, I was the one that first I would teach a class in the future of technology, why it's a good thing to get into solar energy business. And back then I was talking about what we're doing now, photoelectricity. So half my job was to research and to teach the future of renewable technology, and I was always focused on the ultimate future was hydrogen. We haven't figured out how yet, but we know it's it. I wound up teaching, and my other job was placing students. So that was my first sales job. And one of my, I placed almost everybody who I thought was worthy. Some of them were just there to take the class. They weren't really in it. I could see they didn't see themselves plumbing. And but the ones that did, and there were very many of them, because a lot of them were mechanics. That's why they were drawn to the class. I got them placed. Most of them became managers very quickly because they were, they had Army skills or Marine skills. But anyway, that's when I wrote this song. I work 2 shifts at the factory, taking care of my family, makes me wonder, am I really free? Now if I speak up what's on my mind, they'll give my job to the next in line. Where do you go when this grind is all you know? Well, I'm calling out, I need someone to rescue me. If there's a way to be free, enlighten me. Wake up, neighbor, don't let it get you down. Solar energy, there'll be enough to go around. Now look up, neighbor, and see what can be found. Learn to work together, there's enough to go around. Work together, maybe he'll dream all come true. Work together, look up in the sky, you see the sun shines and light, liberty. Well, my story's no great mystery, so few realize there's power in the sun. It's not just rainbows in the sky. us all that we need. Wake up, neighbor, don't let it get you down. Learn to work together, there'll be enough to go around. Look up, neighbor, and see what can be found. With solar energy, there'll be enough to go around. Look up in the sky, you see the sunshine, the light, liberty. Yeah, so that's a bit of my new social commentary. I think we're very much lacking. Well, back then we called it protest music. Thank you, Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and Joni Mitchell, and everybody that participated in Woodstock. And that was a generation. That was my generation. Hot rock and roll with tight vocals. Oh, man. I don't know where music has gone, but that's still the stuff that soothes my soul. And speaking of which, we have a problem in this country. We have a problem with too many people are becoming homeless. And we have an immigration problem. And it's made us very angry. But, you know, it's how a machine breaks down when too many pieces aren't working. And you can't blame the people that came from a revolution with hope that there was some place they could go, a safe harbor somewhere. And America just brags about it, but we don't do it. We used to do it. We used to be, you know, give me your poor, give me your homeless. It's on the Statue of Liberty. Shit. What the hell's going on? Here's Bobby Wilheimer. His daddy was a miner. Till the company shut down the damn mine. Here's a little Josie Wade, had a mama one day, so she ran off to find a new life. They're the homeless left waiting, they grow into a nation, victims of some heinous crime. Have we left them to die for the strong to survive and the heroes to stand up and fight? If I die tonight, let me die standing up for what's right. My freedom's at stake, there's no price too great. Even if it's my life, can you feel it? The spirit of man, can you feel it? The spirit of man. Now they stand at the border chaos and disorder, hoping to one day be free. They're staying for asylum that one day will guide them as people just like you and me. 'Cause if I die tonight, let me die standing up for what's right. Our freedom's at stake, there's no price too great. Even if it's my life, can you feel it? The spirit of man. Can you feel it? The spirit of man. Can you feel So there's